Hello and welcome to TradeFlow Television,
bringing you valuable analysis and actionable intelligence
through the global commodity markets.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Global demand for coal is set to jump 2.6% next year after a record pandemic-led drop this year, as recovering economic activity will lift use for electricity and industrial output, the International Energy Agency said on Friday. Demand for thermal and metallurgical coal should rise to 7,432 million tons in 2021, from 7,243 million tons this year, the Paris-based agency said in its Coal 2020 report. Global coal demand fell by 5% this year as the impact of the pandemic curbed usage, IEA said.
Russia's plans to significantly increase low-sulfur diesel exports to Europe have been hit by sluggish demand amid the pandemic and the slow development of the country's oil refineries, according to industry data and Reuters calculations. A pipeline called Seva North, a key route for Russian diesel going to northwest Europe, only carried about two-thirds of its planned capacity of 25 million tons a year in 2020, sources said, and data on Refinitiv Econ showed. The pipeline connects refineries in western Siberia and the European part of Russia with the Baltic Sea parts of Primorsk and Vyazovye and is operated by the state-run oil pipeline monopoly Transneft.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Asian spot prices for liquefied natural gas hit a six-year high this week as a cold spell gripped the region at a time when supply had been curbed from several plants globally due to unplanned maintenance. The average LNG price for February delivery into Northeast Asia LNG was estimated at about $11.20 per million British thermal units, up 70 cents from the previous week, sources said. Prices for cargoes delivered in January were estimated to be about $12.70 per MMBTU, up $1.60 per MMBTU from the previous week, they added.
The Trump administration's top energy diplomat said on Friday he expects an initiative aimed at securing supply chains for metals critical for the clean energy transformation will continue with President-elect Joe Biden's administration. I have every expectation that it would continue, Frank Fannin, the energy diplomat, told reporters. Transitioning conversations are underway, with the incoming Biden officials, Fannin said. 10 countries, including Canada, Australia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Peru, joined the United States last year in forming the Energy Resource Governance Initiative, or ERGI, to share mining experience and help producer countries discover and develop minerals such as lithium, copper and cobalt.
Moving on to metal price moves.
Ferrous metals futures in top steel producer China surged to contract highs on Friday, with this year's hottest commodity, iron ore, marking its seventh straight weekly gain on optimism about demand and worries over supply. The most traded iron ore for May delivery on China's Dalian commodity exchange ended daytime trading 6.2% higher at 1,073 yuan and 50 fen, $164.15 a ton, after earlier touching a contract high of 1,076 yuan and 50 fen. Iron ore on the Singapore exchange climbed 4.1% to $163.40 a ton.
Gold prices slipped on Friday after 3 days of gains as the dollar's rebound offset support from hopes of a U.S. fiscal stimulus package. Spot gold XAU was down 0.3% at $1,880.11 per ounce by 2:44 p.m. Eastern Time. U.S. gold futures settled down 0.1% at $1,888.90. With coronavirus infections roaring back to new record highs across the United States, pressure mounted on lawmakers to deliver more relief aid in time for a crucial Friday deadline.
Moving on to the top news in the Agri sector.
Raw sugar futures closed down 1.6% on ICE to end the week at the exact same point where they started it, as the uncertainty about U.S. coronavirus relief legislation and a high global number of coronavirus cases weighed on sentiment on Friday. Arabica coffee gained 3.6% in the week while London cocoa lost more than 8% in the period. March raw sugar closed down 1.6% to 14.44 cents per pound, only 1 cent above where the market started trading on Monday.
Brazil's beef producers aim to boost export volumes by 6% next year as they negotiate access to new markets in Asia and North America, industry group ABIC said on Friday. ABIC estimated that Brazil, the world's biggest beef supplier, could export 2.141 million tons next year, worth $8.789 billion, up from a record 2.020 million tons this year, worth $8.533 billion. Brazil is negotiating agreements to sell fresh beef to Canada, Japan, South Korea and Mexico, ABIC officials said. Brazil now exports only processed beef products to Canada. Finally, we have the most recent news on the financial market. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase Inc. has hired Goldman Sachs Group Inc. GS. And to lead preparations for its planned stock market listing, a person familiar with the matter said on Friday. San Francisco-based Coinbase had said on Thursday it had confidentially applied with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to go public. It would be the first major U.S. crypto exchange to list on the stock market.
That is all for today's news on the commodity market. Stay tuned to TradeFlow TV as we continue to provide you with more updates. You can also follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow TV1, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop.